Frankenberger is going to fold some decent hands if he shoves, so I'd much prefer to shove something, unless he has a hand like 9-10 suited or Jack-10 suited, and he just doesn't think he has fold equity.
Yeah, this is just something that very few quote-unquote new school players with more traditional playing styles would do. They just wouldn't flat here with these stacks.
I mean, this is a great flop for Andy to see bet. I would always expect Phil to 3-bet an ace pre-flop at this point.
I mean, if I were Andy, I would literally c-bet 125, 130,000.
Yeah, I mean, he c-bets a little bit too big at 300, but I mean, it's still a profitable bet for sure.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, Phil's frustrated.
Oh, wow. Oh, Phil got it in there. Wow. Check raise all in the call. Does Phil have 6-7, and Andy's got ace-jack, so Phil getting it in here with an open-ended straight draw and backdoor diamonds. He's going to need to draw out, or it's over.
Well, I really dislike this pre-flop call, but
Here we go to the turn. The turn is a 5, and Phil needs an 8 or a 3, or Andy Frankenberger is going to be the champion. Here we go to the river. And the river is a 5, and Andy Frankenberger is the $10,000 pot limit hold'em World Series of Poker bracelet champion.
And this is just an incredible rise for Andy Frankenberger. In his second or third year as a professional poker player, beating Phil Ivey heads up, and to some extent, I mean, making Phil Ivey look kind of silly in some spots. I mean, you got to give him credit. Phil Ivey, you don't usually see Phil Ivey checking behind in a check raise pot on the turn and having his opponent show him King-6 and win.
Let's talk a little bit about the last hand there. You know, he calls off 300,000. He starts the hand with about 1.4. He's calling off over 20% of his stack out of position with 6-7 and diamonds. I mean, what do you think about that?
I mean, I think he was kind of tilted and was hoping he'd flop a decent hand. I mean, it's very probably not his standard play, and I mean, it definitely cost him there. I mean, post-flop is obviously it's going in, but yeah, I really dislike the pre-flop call, and he should have just folded and kind of tried to small ball it a bit more, especially as he had done it with some success earlier in the match.
Yeah, and also, as Tom had said, it seemed like his opponent Frankenberger had a propensity to raise bigger with big hands, so it didn't seem like he would fold to a reshove. If Frankenberger had been raised, I could see, I mean, 6-7 suit is a great hand to reshove all in. It's just not a very good hand to call out of position with when you're 11 or 12 big blinds effective.
I mean, what an incredible night. We've got Phil Hellmuth, Raz Don Zuen down to 5 big bets over in the Raz event. I'm trying to get word right now what's going on with this, and we all expected Phil Ivey just kind of as a secondary nature that he was going to win this, especially going in with the chip lead.
It's truly incredible. I mean, I was at a loss for